Good day, global crypto enthusiasts. This is 88 Fantastic coming to you Sunday, June 16th, 2019. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Just got my hug and a kiss a couple seconds ago. Okay, as always, let's have a quick look at Bitcoin price. And then today's video, we're going to go through some stats, some numbers, and what had happened last night because I got to watch it up close for 3 hours. It was absolutely awesome. Okay, so over here, we got a live price of Bitcoin sitting at 90.42. We got Bitcoin at 90.56. We've got Bitcoin at 90.72. And we got Bitcoin at 90.72. So what do you know? And then we get a market cap of 282, 282, and 283. So we've only got about a 1 billion difference. But the 1 billion difference on CoinGecko is because they've also got multiple coins added onto there. All right, so let's go through everything from price-wise first. We see the market cap sitting at 282.6, 24-hour volume of just about 75 billion per 24, and Bitcoin sitting at 9,000. Okay, so this video here, I'm kind of going to yap a little bit because I want to show you some prices and some cool stuff. So last night, or yesterday's video we did, Bitcoin was sitting at 8,787. It wasn't quite at 8,800 yet. Kind of made a couple of small pushes, made a couple of small pushes, and then again, I'm in the middle of Canada, so at about 9 o'clock my time last night, as we're going out for coffee to watch them talk about the market, we see the price of Bitcoin finally start to ramp up. So when it gets to the 9,000 point, are we, the first thing I'm thinking about, okay, is 9,000 that contract price where it's going to hit 9K and it's going to bounce back? Then I remembered two important factors, and this is the two factors we're going to talk about here today, is when a couple of weeks ago we had seen the absolute craziness of Bitcoin went from 8,000 to 8,700 and I think it was about 11 minutes there a couple of weeks ago. And then last week or the week before, we saw the price of Bitcoin and the entire market when that whale blew through the short contracts, right? So as we were talking about that, and the people over at the CME and BitMEX and other people talking about their contracts, they were saying that after the 11,000 mark for the longs, the gap between 11,000 and 17,000, there's no bidding. There's virtually no, the vast majority of their contracts are at 11,000 and for some odd reason, 17,000. So am I saying Bitcoin's going to ramp up to $11,000 later? I don't know about that. We weren't expecting all of that news from Binance and Bittrex to come out. And that might be the thing that we've talked about for the last 2 weeks about bucking the trend. Okay, so let's go through last night here. I want to show you guys something really cool. I can't show it like this, not sure how. Anyways, when Bitcoin had broken the 9,000 mark, it didn't just sit at 9,000. It went to 9,040, 9,080, and then it went straight to 9140 within a matter of 8 to 10 minutes. So the first fight last night for Bitcoin was between 9140 and 9160. That was the first fight that it actually stopped at. Then after it broke 9160, the next fight was between 9170 and 9175. It sat there for about 15 minutes and fought backwards. Then on top of that, after it beat 9175, it literally skyrocketed right to 9300 within minutes. And then we saw, hold on here, we'll pull up our cap, and that's where we saw our first pullback since the 11th. We haven't had an actual pullback since right here, which was July the 11th. That's the last time we really saw any profit taking, was 5 days ago, and that's why our trend for the week ending of the 20th is still on pace. So we got as high, we actually, it doesn't show in here, it says 287, 386. The market got as high as 289 last night, and then we saw our first scale back. So on here, it's only a $7 billion scale back. That's nothing. We're not used to that. That is just some profit taking. So what I would like is if anybody in the comment section, anybody that's watching this, if you were somebody last night that took all of your, so the reason for the big sell last night, and just in my personal opinion, is the whole reason for my video. I wanted to congratulate and give a big pat in the back to the people in the market that saw the Binance news and the Bittrex news last night. And instead of cowering and selling out and running for the fucking hills, you people stood strong, took your money out of these altcoins last night, and you supported original Bitcoin. Now, why do I say that? Is when in that 3 hour span that Bitcoin went last night, and you can go back and look through all of your charts, In the top 200, I watched this for 3 hours last night. In the top 200, there was over 100 coins that had 1 hour and 24 hour and 7 hour fucking red across the board, while Bitcoin pushed from 8,800 to 9,300. So that old saying, how Bitcoin moves, how the market moves, that ended last night for the first time I've ever seen it. The altcoins on Binance and Bittrex were literally bleeding between 2 and 20% into the red last night, while the price of Bitcoin went from 8,800 to 9,300. The other thing we saw in that last night is Ethereum was sitting between 274 and 275, and while all these massive chunks of money are going to Bitcoin, the price of Ethereum never moved more than 10 cents. Ripple, while that whole thing was moving last night, was sitting between 40 and 41 cents, didn't move. Litecoin was at 137, 138, while Bitcoin went from 88 to 93, didn't move. Bitcoin Cash moved a little bit, but it was only moving in 50 cent to $1 increments. That's it. Everybody else got nothing. Got nothing. Again, when you go back and look at that 3 hour period last night, there was over 100 altcoins in the top 200 that bled for 24 hours straight. And when you looked at the 1 hour, 24 hour, and 7, and they were triple red, they were all Binance and Bittrex associated exchange coins. So what had happened is, like I said, good for you guys. It's really great to see in a situation. If this was last year in a situation like that, everybody would have sold, put it into a coin, and sold out of the market completely and tanked prices all across the board. We didn't see that. We seen people taking all of their profits out of their altcoins and actually coming out and supporting the true king, which is the original Bitcoin. All right, so there's not really much to look into prices because really the prices are still pretty close to being the same. Ripple, again, between the 40 and 42 cent mark. ETH really had a nice gain. It was up as high as 275. Ethereum, or Litecoin, had briefly touched the 140 mark and came back a little bit. Bitcoin Cash actually stayed steady and did rise sideways up. The same thing with EOS. EOS seeing a little bit of love. And poor Binance coin, I mean, it pushed for a little bit, but it keeps getting pulled back because what are people supposed to do with it now? They still got to wait for our U.S. exchange, and we're not even sure that's even going to happen, right? BSV even got a little bit of love last night. It actually scaled, went sideways, and came back down a little bit last night. And we'll just have a quick lookie over our top 20. And again, not a whole bunch. Again, everyone was taking profits out of their Bittrex and Binance accounts last night, and they were reloading onto Bitcoin. And again, for me, that is fucking awesome. It's literally the first time as a community of investors in this new cryptocurrency market space that people are actually willing to hold on to something and take it out of a potential jackpot coin and put it into Bitcoin. So that was really, really good to see. It shows some serious progress in the investors' attitudes in the space in the last year. And what it also shows is what I've been talking about on the channel. When things like this happens, we've been saying it, we should expect all summer that we get stronger lines of support at the bottom. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. And that's exactly what we saw last night. So let's go again, look at our overall market cap. And again, we're still expecting that big massive dump before the 20th. And again, that's 7 billion. That's not a dump. That is just profit taking. A dump is 25 to 30 billion, and that's what I'm still expecting to see before the 20th. Because again, we haven't seen any heavy profit taking. That was minimal. Heavy profit taking we haven't seen really since June the 11th, and before then it was June the 3rd and May the 30th on the 2 dates that we called it. So again, just something to come out and keep an eye out for. We see the prices in the market going just a little bit backwards here today. So again, if you're one of those guys that took out of your coins out of Binance and Bittrex last night, come out in the comment sections. I want to know, just out of curiosity, when you saw the price of Bitcoin ramping up, how many did you sell right away? Or were you one of those guys like, it's going to keep going, just wait? And did you want to put your sell order? No, pull it back a little bit. and then hold and actually turn a profit. So I'm curious to see, as the day traders and the swing traders last night, when you're taking your coins out, how exciting of a time it was for you to be involved in taking some profit, but also at the same time, how many times did you actually shit your pants and change your mind on an actual sell order? And the reason I ask is I'm a long-term investor. I leave all my stuff. I'm with Max Kaiser. I'm with Trace Mayer. I'm not even looking at selling anything until Bitcoin is literally at the 6-digit mark. So I'm living vicariously through you guys. Okay, we'll have another quick refresh through here. I just wanted to come out and pump up the actual entire community and everybody that was involved in taking profits out of their altcoins and putting them into Bitcoin last night. But again, we got as high as 93, and then we got slammed. So right now, that's where we're sitting at right now, and we still see a little bit of blood coming out of the rest of the alts right now. So just keep your eye on everything. Before we get out of here, we got the Litecoin halving is approximately 50 days from 4 hours from now. And again, just nice to see some really good love in the market last night. So pat on the back for everybody that got their coins out of Binance and Bittrex last night and invested back into Bitcoin. So that's all I got for you guys. That's the weekend update. This is 88 Fagtastic showing you how to take a bite out of the cryptocurrency market. Take care, y'all.